Today I want to introduce you to Magic PR, the premium press release service, who is my go-to choice for premium news outlets. Now, I've talked before about cheap, easy press release distribution using something like EIN Presswire. For $100 or so, you can get 250 websites syndicated, and that's nice and easy. But what if you want to go above and beyond and get some more interesting, proper, noteworthy names? So that's where I use Magic PR. Madge, who runs Magic PR, very cleverly worded name, has basically gone to a lot of effort to aggregate different news distributions together. So not only do you get the standard distribution, like for instance MarketWatch, you can get someone like MarketWatch quite easily for $100 or so, but much more of these premium publications like MSN and Business Insider, as well as Yahoo Finance. So I'm sure you've seen on certain landing pages before, you think, how on earth do I get featured in Yahoo Finance, MSN, Business Insider? Well, you can do it with the right press release distribution who has access to those platforms. So that's why with my book a year or two ago, when I wanted to get that distributed at launch, I went with Madge, because at the time he had Bloomberg available, but I also got that Yahoo Finance, Morningstar, AP News. These are really good names to mention, whereas your standard $100 press release is great just for starting a little website and getting some backlink power and backlink diversity into the site. But in terms of logos to actually put on your landing page, it's not quite as impressive as using a source like Madge. But crucially, Magic PR is based on SEO fundamentals. So if we come down here, I can explain what I mean by that, where Madge is a really big advocate for what's known as entity stacking, where basically not only do you want to launch all these press releases and have them all linked together and stacked up, but to really increase their power, you want to do more tiered link building. So for one thing, Magic PR have got their own distribution network, which basically includes a large number of websites that your standard press release distribution just doesn't have. But the team will also build what are known as drive stacks, where basically on AWS and different cloud platforms, you can build these documents to link through to your press release. Now, there's a lot of debate over this. There's different people who do this, but the fundamental concept is a page on AWS or OneDrive has got a lot of backlink power. It's on a DR 1890 site. So even the most basic page linking through to your press release, that is a great way to actually power up that press release. So it's easy to do. You wouldn't necessarily want to do it yourself, but a scaled system like Magic PR, not only being distributed to all these great news sources, but those news sources are then being powered up with all these additional off-page stacks, then that gets really interesting. You get much more power into that press release. So what does it cost? Magic PR is certainly premium, but you can see what you get is really good. So $400, $700. I know from Madge himself, he actually white labels for a lot of big international agencies where they're charging often more than $1,000 for these PR distributions. Now, I tend to ignore the lower end because you could get similar with a lot of other press release distribution platforms. But for silver and gold, that's where you get these really interesting publications. So Business Insider, AP News, Digital Journal, Benzinger, Newsmax, and then the premium end, Globe Newswire, MSN. If you're doing any sort of parasite SEO or want parasite SEO for your press release, it tends to be Globe Newswire that actually ranks the best. Every time I've done one of these press releases, I'll then run a batch analysis on all the links that press release has been distributed to. And what you'll find is it tends to be the Globe Newswire one that actually ranks for keywords and actually starts driving traffic. But you also get the MSN link and the Yahoo Finance link. So especially if you're client facing, MSN links and Yahoo Finance links are gold. Because of course, they're household names, they look really good. And a link from MSN is always going to be good anyway. I get agencies pitching me all the time saying $400 or $500 or so will give you an MSN link. So I went to Madge about 6 months ago and said, we need to work out how are they doing this? How are they getting that rate? And Madge came back and introduced it to his premium package for gold. And never mind the links, the writing is all done for you. They use Page Optimizer Pro. So your press release is fully optimized for the correct entities. And Magic PR is also really good at actually conforming and understanding the editorial requirements of a press release. So you don't have all this back and forth. So when I launched my book, Madge called me on the day to say, we're all ready to go, except I'm worried that they're going to come through and say this is a personal press release because it's your name rather than a business press release, which is what it needs to be. It needs to be company news. It can't be just you saying how great you are. So Madge made a few tweaks to make it more of a company press release, and it got distributed seamlessly that day. So I know $700 does seem a bit steep for a press release, but then you come down here and look at those logos, you can get Business Insider, MSN, and Yahoo Finance. That alone is worth well more than the $700. that goes on your homepage as the featured in, much more conversions. Or if you're reselling them to your clients, then you're going to have very happy clients if they're getting Yahoo Finance, MSN, and Business Insider on their homepage.